Okay, next is threats to measurement accuracy and reliability. So problems with observer training. So there's observer drift, expectancy effects, and observer reactivity. So observer drift is essentially when your observers, the quality and integrity kind of goes down as time goes on. They get more comfortable, but the definition is observers' interpretation of target behavior differs than what they are trained on. So at SCP, sometimes our idea of verbal abuse was not the same idea as another person, and there was a conflict with that. So I know Ty has mentioned a lot on tone, and sometimes I would, or like a lot of people would consider somebody's tone to be kind of abrasive, but now I'm learning that, like, if it's a part of their culture and that's just how someone from a different cultural background talks, like, that's just them talking, that's not yelling. That can be, like, we would have to get trained on, like, we would all go through data reliability to be observed to see if our idea of behavior matches what, like, my supervisor's idea, and we would see how many that we actually observed and how they overlapped. That's how we would provide fidelity. Expectancy effects. So the observer's knowledge affects how you code the behaviors. So if I knew that the intervention was in place, then that might affect how I would score. So, like, I care about Amanda's data. I want it to show results. Like, it's implicit. You don't actively say, like, I want to have good results, but I mean, I even see this when I'm trying to test my kiddo, who still only has 2 first sound fluency. Like, I really want, like, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, but then I would be lacking in reliability and measurement fidelity. Or accuracy, more like. Observer reactivity. So that's when your observer's behavior is influenced by the fact that there's another observer. So let's say Kavi and I are sitting together and we're both grading the same thing. I implicitly kind of want to know what she's grading, because I'm like, oh wait, did I miss something? Did I get it? Like, aware of, when you're aware, the same thing goes to, like, the kid's behavior changes just because you're in the room, because you know that you're linked to, like, their reinforcement. So how do you combat these? So observer drift. Train the observers, do a fidelity check, and then provide feedback. Expectancy effect, so don't let them know when the intervention is in place. A lot of times Kara wouldn't tell us. Sometimes it wasn't even being, never mind. Observer reactivity, so attempt to evaluate the observer at random times so the observer is not expecting it. A lot of times my supervisor wouldn't tell us when they were coming in to observe. Like, they just come in, like, halfway through the period. That gave me a lot of anxiety, so I told them, can you please tell me when you're coming? Because that would just, like, oh my gosh, imagine if you're, like, teaching and you're like, my boss is right here observing. Anyway, that's it for that.